Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Paul. So let's get into the mess of the mess today on this good Wednesday, y'all. So let's get down to it. First of all, like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. But I said these are the topics that we get into the mess of the mess today. There's a couple of things. We got Texas that's up here. We got the Republicans and Democrats who's in Texas, and they doing a little something going on in there. Then we got who else was it? There's a couple of people on here. I said, but we're gonna get into it in a few minutes. But let's get down to it first. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. But let's get down to the mess. First up, we got Texas. So Texas Republicans, their house, the Texas House, they didn't got their senators because they're supposed to be doing a major voting on some redirecting. They're trying to get some bill passed down there, and the Democrats ain't on it. Democrats done walked out. They didn't walked out like multiple times already, and they trying to find them for walking out and stuff like that, and because they don't want to vote on whatever bill that's trying to be passed in Texas, so they feuding because Democrats are fleeing the capital of Texas. I said, well, they doing what they got to do down there, but I wish they'd do that. I wish Democrats would do the most of what Texas Democrats are doing in their own state, in the capital of Washington D.C. Because, baby, but that's what's going on in Texas. They're trying to pass some law in Texas, but the Democrats down there are not feeling it, and so they walking out and not, so they don't have to vote on it. But yeah, because they ain't got enough votes to get whatever law passed. So that's what's going on down there. Tell me how you feel about it. Let's move on to the next, and that's up and okay, we got Khaotic. So Khaotic was on I want to say drink drink champs. I want to say that's who he was on, Drink Champs. I want to say that's the show, but I may be wrong. He was on some podcast where he ended up talking about his so-called used to be friendship that he had with Scrappy. He think that Scrappy, he said the beef started when he was on the show with Scrappy, and he think that Scrappy was jealous of him, started to hate on him and stuff like that. But I said Scrappy, he thinks that Scrappy hates him. But Scrappy doesn't. I said Scrappy don't hate you. Scrappy don't even think about you. It was the way you move. I said you move in a way that doesn't make any sense. You do a lot of you do a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense, where you do it behind the back and then all of a sudden you switch up. You've been doing a lot of different things that didn't make sense to him, and he felt the way about it. And it got to a point where it got all to just fell out. Um, and I think that Scrappy said that, oh, he said the fame went to his head. But I'm like, Scrappy was famous before Love and Hip Hop. I said Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, from what I was told about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, it was created around Scrappy, to be honest. But it grew into something totally different than that. But Mama D made it what it was. Then Jocelyn did her thing, came through and did what she needed to do and made it a household name. But he gonna do what he do. He's talked about the relationship. He wished that he thought he was gonna be the godfather of Scrappy's son that he had, the newborn. I said, why would you think that? I said, why? I said, I wouldn't trust you being a godfather of any of my children. I said, nah. But I said, if you was on the show right now, I think you and Lil Zane would get along just fine because y'all act just alike. And I said, I can see how it's going to be an issue between Zane and Scrappy this season. Yeah, because it's coming through. Because he acts like Chaotic a little bit, to an extent where he does a lot of the the shadiness that Chaotic does when it comes to the groups and stuff, and he like to bring up the mess, and that was the big thing that Scrappy doesn't. He doesn't like that, and it's like, but half the time you should be. It's like then you shouldn't do. You should say things or do things in front of people like that. But you thinking these people are your friends, and you come to find out they really not. They just associates. But that's how I feel about it. But let me know how y'all feel. But let's move on to the next. So we got some breaking news. Breaking news. So the new CEO of BET says that there will be no more BET Hip Hop or Soul Train Awards because the new this new atmosphere of entertainment and whatever, it didn't change, and so we're changing with the culture. I said bullshit. That's straight up bullshit. Why this bald headed no hairline fool up here on my channel? I said, where the lady that been, I forget her name, who been the CEO for the longest since the original owner of BET, then left and sold it, and he left her in charge. I said, why she ain't still there? Because I need her back. Because this man right here don't know what the hell he doing. I said, because if you getting rid of, it's like you getting rid of these shows. I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. That's the whole point of these shows is for black entertainers. Because we don't get the black entertainers don't get the support or the support that they need in the entertainment biz anyway. And these are the shows and award shows that show black entertainers the respect and the love that they deserve. And you saying that, oh, it's suspended and indefinitely and not coming back, I said, then you need to be fired because you don't have a clue what you're doing. Because y'all don't have really nothing on BET anyway, or BET Plus, other than all Tyler Perry shows. And I said, they can only do so much. But I said, the award shows is what people look for on BET. You want to be honest. Mostly that's what you're looking for. It's these award shows during the time of the year, the summertime, springtime, fall, whatever, when it comes on. But I said, it's what it is. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. But I said, it's not right. But let's move on to the next. So there's an investigation going on with the they thinking that there should be changes in GloRilla since she got arrested and everything. Let me pull it up and make it a little bit better. So since she, ended up getting arrested because her house got, robbed, and when the Georgia police was, doing their investigation, but excuse me, they searched her house and ended up arresting her instead of the people who robbed her house. So, there should be changes going on. People are pushing for changes since she ended up getting arrested and everything. And hopefully, she doesn't. Hopefully, she got a good lawyer that'll work something out for her that she don't have to do time for what they did found in her house or whatever. But that's what's going on there. Let's move on to the next one. Also, now let's get into some love and hip hop ish. So we got Carly. So Carly, girl, come to the front, baby. Come to the front. I said you got your own legal situation going on, but you got time to come and get on the BAMs and say that the BAMs didn't have to audition for her role in the new movie that she just. I want to say that she actually did. The BAMs had did. She said she didn't have to audition for this role because it's a living experience. I said, girl. I said, y'all on good. I said, you and the BAMs is y'all on good terms. Y'all wasn't arguing during this season so far that we didn't see. Y'all wasn't, there was nothing going on between any of y'all. So I'm a little confused with you having time to come for her about her role. But I said, what man did she steal? Cause well, she is known for getting around, but I ain't seen her steal nobody, man. Not that I know of. What tea you not telling us? But that's what's going on. So she throwing shade, and I'm like, girl, you don't need to do none of this. I said you need to worry about your if you gonna do time. But that's what's going on with Carly and the Bams. I said she don't want them problems. But let's move on. So we got what's a new so there's changes to Snap coming next year that they are cutting the junk that you can't buy soda or pop or soda pop, whatever you want to call it, or anything that's not nutritional with Snap with food stamps. Starting next year. They just passed a new bill. I'm like, okay. But yeah, the food costs. I said these nutritional foods like vegetables, the vegetables, the meat, all that stuff is high. It's like y'all not really giving people food stamps. Y'all give like a week worth, not even a week. I said that's like a day. That's really a day worth of food stamps. A day worth of food stamps. If you don't got kids, you not getting no food stamps. They not give you nothing. They give you a day worth of food stamps. You get at least 100 or something. They said the max for one person is 100. The total is 197, but you only get 100 and maybe 50. It's 50 or less because it does go. They do start to subtract. After they do start taking off 5 to 10 as it go down, and you get down. I say yeah. So I don't understand this SNAP program anyway. So y'all really not helping. And majority of the time, people buy junk food because buy the junk stuff because it's the cheapest. Processed stuff is mostly the cheapest because the fresh stuff is not. Like you gotta spend so much money just to pay for that because it's ridiculous. But y'all want to do this and take it off of there, take all the junk food and stuff off there. But y'all not giving food. Y'all not really giving food stamps to people who don't have kids. And then the people who do have kids, y'all may give them maybe I don't know what is the limit for people with kids. I don't even know. But y'all not giving enough. But that's what's going on there. Crazy. Moving on to the next. So let's get into I forget Young Flora. It's a brand called I hope I'm saying Young Flora. So it's a makeup company that actually just shut down because they actually over I want to say about a year ago or something they came out with a makeup that was for darker skin for black darker women and it was just like a paint. And I said, baby, they was wrong for that. It was just a paint in the bottle, like black paint in the bottle. To be honest, it's supposed to be like a mascara, not a mascara, but I forget what it's called. But they came out with some type of makeup, and it was just totally wrong. And now they didn't shut down for business, so they will not be existing anymore. So that's all about there. So let's move on to the next. Oh, that was the last one. Dang. I got through this one. But thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul. Y'all have a good one. Let me get this one right. Y'all have a good one. And